When I was at school, we were always taught not to use a word unless we knew the meaning of it. So let's start at taking a look at what Advent as a word actually means. As with most words in our English language, it comes from the Latin. Advenire, which means to come to or to come forward. Advenire is the root for the word in Latin for adventus, which means arrival. Advent is a season in the Church's life intended to renew the experience of waiting and longing for the Messiah. Though Christ has already come into the world, the Church invites us to renew our desire and open the door to our life to the Lord. Advent is the expectant waiting, hopeful anticipation, and cheerful preparation. We are, after all, still part of the people of the covenant. That means we are a people waiting for the Messiah. Let's take a leaf out of the books of the small children as they look forward to Christmas, that expectant waiting and the sheer delight of waiting for the big man's appearance. The sparkle in their eyes as they see the decorations, Santa's grotto, the Coca-Cola advert. This is a lesson for us, the people of the new covenant, that have accepted that the Messiah has come, but wait in expectant delight for the second coming. This is how we should be as we move through this period of Christmas this year. The Church teaches us that Advent has a twofold character, or it is a time of preparation for the solemnities of Christmas, in which the first coming of the Son of God to humanity is remembered, and likewise a time when, by remembrance of this, minds and hearts are led to look forward to Christ's second coming at the end of time. For these two reasons, Advent is a period of devout and expectant delight. Expectant delight, the beautiful imagery of a child stood before Santa's grotto, a time of joyful hope, a time of preparation, and a time of waiting. We have the experience of the entire church community who has encountered the living Christ before us to give us hope. We also have our own individual past experiences of where God has been present. God's light and love always shines through whatever kind of darkness that we might encounter: illness, grief, injustice, and worries about work or relationships, spiritual deserts or darkness. So we wait with hope. We wait with one another and not alone. So what does that mean for us as a community of faith? Advent, waiting, requires making space. This is not the making of space to store new presents or feng shui clearing, but making space for us to connect to God, to be in His presence. Although the main action in Advent is God's, we have our part to do too. We are not waiting passively for God to act. Rather, we have to make room for God's actions to be something that we can welcome, something that we can pay attention to when it happens. Here, the images of the inn and stable are helpful. There was no room at the inn for Mary, Joseph, and Jesus because it was too full. The stable was poor and simple, but had space for them to take shelter. We need to ask ourselves, is my heart open to God? What are the superficial concerns or worries to let go in order to make room for Jesus to come again this Christmas? Is my life too rushed and busy with holiday preparations, or am I building in time to make space for the Christ child? This making space for God will rekindle that childlike waiting in expectant delight during this Advent season, so we are fully prepared for the big man's appearance, not Santa, but the Christ child.